Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to crochet this super cute Snoopy pouch. It's a beginner friendly project that you can probably finish within a day, and you can just use it to carry around your small things. Now these are the materials you're going to need. This is the yarn I used. It's comparable to any type of milk cotton yarn, and I used the colors red, white, and black. Next, you're going to need a fabric glue, but you could also use a hot glue gun if you wanted to. I'm using my 3mm hook for this project. Then you're going to need a darning needle to sew in your ends, a pair of scissors, some felt for the ears, and lastly, we're going to need these black flatbacks, and we're going to be using this for Snoopy's nose, and I'll just put the Amazon link in the description. I use my biggest size, so it's probably 8mm or 10mm. We're going to start with our red yarn and create a slip knot. I'll make 25 chains. Once we have those, we're going to skip our first 2 chains and make a double crochet into the fur chain from our hook. Continue placing double crochets in each chain until you reach the last stitch. Into the last chain, we're going to be placing 3 double crochets instead of 1. We're going to be working on the other side of our chain, and we're just going to place 1 double crochet in each of these loops, and make sure to also weave in your end as you go. This last chain, we're going to be placing 1 extra double crochet, so we'll have 2 double crochets in the last chain. Now we're just going to slip stitch into that chain 2 that you made, and this is what our first row should look like. Start a new row, just chain 2, and we're going to be doing that at the beginning of each row. And for row 2, just place a double crochet in each stitch you made on our first row. And once again, once you've made your last stitch, you're going to be slip stitching to end the row and chaining 2 to begin a new row. For row 3 until row 5, it's going to be the same pattern, so just chain 2, double crochet in each stitch, slip stitch to close the round, and so on. I just finished my 5th row, and now we're going to be fastening off our red yarn and changing to the white yarn. So for this, just slip stitch and then cut off the yarn. Now we have to weave in our end, so we're just going to grab the darning needle and thread our yarn through it. And this is me really struggling to put the yarn through my needle. Now you just want to weave it through the stitches on the inside of your pouch. Now we're going to be switching to our white yarn, and for this we're just going to be making a slip knot. Be attaching the yarn into the chain 2 by making a slip stitch. Now chain up 2 and place a double crochet into each stitch. This is row 6, and every row until row 11 will be exactly like this. Once I've finished row 11, I'll just meet back up with you. We're going to be making our 12th row, and in this row we're going to be making the holes for our straps. So just chain up 2 and then make 1 double crochet in your first stitch and a double crochet in your second stitch. Now chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and then place a double crochet into the stitch after that. Make another double crochet and then another chain 1, and we're just going to be repeating this pattern of chaining 1, skipping 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1. We're going to finish this row with a chain 1 and then a slip stitch into these 2 chains that you made at the start of your row. Now we're going to be chaining up 2 for our last row and making 2 double crochets into the double crochets, and then a double crochet into this chain, and I'm just making my double crochet into the 2 top loops of the chain. And now just continue that and make a double crochet for each double crochet and chain. To fasten off our yarn, we're just going to chain 1 and then cut it off. And now once again we have to weave in our end. For the straps, you're just going to create a chain of 72. Once you're finished, just cut off your yarn and pull it through. We're going to be needing 2 of the exact same straps. Now I'm going to show you how to weave in these chains so you can make the drawstring part. So I'm just going to thread this end of the chain into my darning needle, and then you want to start by inserting the chain into the side of your bag and just weave it in, going on top of and underneath the double crochets. Do this all the way around until you reach back where you started. Now make sure that your straps are an even length, and once you have them the way you want them, just tie them into a knot. Now we're going to repeat the exact same thing for the other chain, except now we're going to start on the other side of the bag. if you made it the right way, it should look like this when you pull your strings. Now we're going to be making the little stars for our straps, and for this we're just going to be making a magic ring and chaining 1. Now we're going to place a single crochet into the magic ring, followed by a double crochet, then chain 2, place another double crochet, and another single crochet. That's 1 start point, and now again, single crochet, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, single crochet. And just repeat this until you have 5 little start points. I now have all of my points, so we're just going to be closing the magic ring by tugging at this string really hard. Now slip stitch until you reach that little chain 2. And now we're just going to fasten off. To be needing 2 of these little stars for each strap, so 4 total. And naturally weave in all of your ends for these little stars. Now to sew them onto the strap, we're going to need a long piece of white yarn. And I'm also going to tie these little ends into a knot. Now just place your stars the way you like them and just make sure that they aren't inside out. Simply sew the stars together on top of the knot. You're going to be repeating the exact same process for your other strap. Now let's start making the face, and the first thing I'm going to do is just attaching the nose with some glue, and now I'm just looking for where I want to place it. And then I'm just going to be using my fabric glue to glue it on. Next is the little ears, and for this I just cut my felt into this oval-like shape. Once again, just place them however you like them and glue them onto your pouch. We're going to sew on the eyes and just try and make sure that they're even, but this is how I did it. Also, sorry if I go out of frame a lot, it was just kind of hard to record this at my desk. And then once you're done, just once again weave in your ends. You could also add a lining to your pouch if you do know how to sew. I might make a tutorial for this later on because I do want to add a lining to mine. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please consider checking out my other videos.